Hello everybody and welcome to Q8, the 8th workout of the quarantine. So as always, start with your general warm-ups. You should always be doing this. This should just be standard practice. Anytime you're about to get into something, you go play pickup basketball, you should be doing your general warm-up. After you finish your general warm-up, you got your walkouts, corrective squats, 10 and 10, single push-up, nothing exciting there. And then after that, you're going to go through your stability circuit. So I know most of you guys know all the elements of the stability circuit, but we're going to go through that one more time for those of you who may not. Everything here is going to be done for 30 seconds, except for the plank at the very end. At the end, we always end with 1 minute of plank. So you start, tabletop position, we're going to do cat and cow. And from this position, you want your hands right underneath your shoulders. You want your knees right underneath your hips. You're going to exhale. Press your spine up, squeeze your abs, tilt your hips underneath you. And this is not a passive move. You really want to squeeze your abs. You want to flex all your vertebrae and tilt your hips underneath. Press up through the shoulders. You really want to be purposeful about how you do this move. And then the opposite direction, this would be the cow, same thing. You want to really squeeze your back, tilt your hips the opposite way, and then pull your shoulders down and back, look up. I always feel like a strong squeeze in my low back here. You really want to use the muscles, right? Be purposeful about it. From there, you're going to go into a static tabletop extension. So I'm extending the arm and the opposite leg. The palm is up. Everything should be on the same line. I don't want to let this drop. I don't want to point the toe, bend the knee, dorsiflex the foot, extend the hand palm up. And then with my opposite shoulder, let's switch sides here. With the opposite shoulder, I want to be a little bit tall through this move. I don't want to let myself drop down like this. I want to press up, make myself a little bit taller, keep the core engaged. If you find yourself flopping all over the place, it's probably because you're not engaging the core. You've got to use your abs, use your abdominals to connect the hip to the opposite shoulder. That's where the stability is going to come from here. From there, you go to the back for dying bug. And again, a lot of times, people just do this move with their arms and their legs. And you're not really going to get much out of it. If you want to get a lot out of it, you got to put a little bit more focus into it. And I always want to get a little bit more out of a simple move. So my setup position, got the same arm and knee up, and then I'm going to float this leg, opposite hand on the hip, right? Now, the first thing, I'm going to exhale. I'm going to smash my spine into the ground. I'm going to exhale through the first half of the move. Inhale through the second half. So this is anatomical breathing. As I bring my body closer to center, I exhale. As I extend, I draw breath in. And I always want everything to move at the same time as if it were connected with gears. So as I start that exhalation, you can see that both legs move, both hands move. I see the way a lot of people cheat this move is they bring this leg in, Courtney, and then extend, right? That's cheating. You want to make everything move at exactly the same time. Like so. From there, go into a side plank. Here's another static move. Stack up, elbow, shoulder, shoulder, elbow, hand. Everything in one line, hips stacked up, feet on top of each other. Big mistake I see here. I see a lot of people, they either have their hips back or they're rotated this way or some combination of both. All right, so get yourself in line. Sight down that line. You should be able to line your belly button up with the seam in between your feet. You want to just hold there, again, 30 seconds. Next move, you're on your back. Now for this single leg alternating glute bridge, I want to be in a race start recovery position. This is the position you're in the air as you're leaving the block. I want my elbows on the same line as my shoulders. So not down here, not up here, just right there on the same line. Back of the hand, wrist, against the ground. Right, and that way I'm going to make sure that I'm engaging the muscles in my back. So my shoulders are touching, I'm putting pressure on my elbows, pressure on my wrists. I see a lot of people kind of like this. You want to get the hands down and press. Right, you're going to be using your teres for that, using rotator cuff for that, and you want that. You want that so you can open your chest up, engage those muscles. Right, if you can't engage the back, then it's hard to relax the front. And if you can't do that, then you won't have the range of motion that you need on your start. So from this position again, I got the ankle and the knee on the same line. Now they shouldn't be touching. They should be hip width apart. But the ankle and the knee should be right next to each other. Okay? So I set myself up in this position. last thing I do before I press, I engage my core and press my spine against the ground, because you don't want to overextend here when you're coming off the block. So again, engage. I make myself, look, I'm lying on a flat surface. Use this flat surface to make myself linear, right? You got it. It's right here. It's a straight edge all around you. So make sure you're using it. Press, engage, then drive up. Exhale, release, switch, opposite side. And everything could be a reaction drill if you give yourself something to react to. So you either imagine that starting signal in your mind, or you have somebody else give you a signal to do the move. But I mean, you can make anything a reaction drill if you put the effort into it, right? Once you finish those alternating glute bridge, then you finish with your plank. You just got standard 1 minute plank, good body position. I really shouldn't have to go too much into this. So here's the first circuit. Now we're gonna go through this 5 times. What you got first is shimmies. And we haven't done these before, so pay attention to how these are done. This is a move that I've taken from jiu-jitsu. And what you're gonna do here, you're lying on your back. This is your neutral position, all right? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shift my weight to my shoulders and I'm gonna rotate my hips. So if I'm moving to the left, I'm gonna put my right hip on the ground, but I'm gonna shift it to the left as far as I can. All right, now when I go to move to the right, I'm gonna lift myself up and rotate the right shoulder to the ground. So then when I move through, I'm gonna be moving through from my hips and shoulders alternatingly. So when I'm just working through that, the rhythm is gonna look like this. Kind of silly, but it's a pretty great move. So when I do this, I wanna work 20 times each direction. So let's say, for instance, I'm working on this mat. It takes me 5 shimmies to get down, 5 shimmies to get back. Well, I'm gonna do that 4 rounds to get through that. From there, I'm gonna go into kick-up handstands. For the kick-up handstand, I'm gonna start from the ground. I'm gonna do 10 total. I'm gonna kick up 5, kick it with my right, 5, kick it with my left. Everybody here is gonna have a dominant leg. One side is gonna feel super awkward. You'll probably see my left side is definitely my unnatural side, but that's all right. You want to work both sides. It's okay to have a dominant side. Obviously, everybody's got a dominant leg, but you still want to work both sides. So hands are down. I want to kick up to the top. I want to get up there softly. All right, so I don't want to bang my feet against the wall, but I do want to make sure I get all the way up. So there's kicking with the right side, 5 that way, and then I'm going to kick with the left side. And I'm going to try, you can see that side was a little clunky. So I'm going to try to get control, a little bit short there, a little bit hard there. You can see I still have, oh, that was a good one. I still have a lot of deficiency on that left side, so I got to work that a little bit more. Last thing, I'm going to do sit-throughs. We're going to go 20 sit-throughs. The goal here is to find your balance and get through your rhythm. So I like the mat down this way. I like doing these from a mat because it kind of enforces my position. If I can keep my hand and my foot on a mat at all times, it shows me that I'm doing a good job getting into the position. So I want to be here, got the foot and the hand on the mat. When I jump across to the other side, I want to make sure I got the foot and the hand still on the mat. What happens a lot of times, I see people start to get into this kind of position here. You want to make sure that you're getting the foot all the way up to the mat. So again, I advocate using a mat or at least some kind of reference point on the ground. Okay, so once you've gotten through 5 rounds of that, it's time for the main work. So for the main work here, we're gonna work kettlebell swings. Then we're gonna do hammer slams, med ball here. We're gonna be doing that from a kneeling position. Then from there, we're gonna do a combo move. We're gonna do a kneeling jump into a jump lunge. That's gonna be 6 reps of that. We're gonna alternate the side that we do it from. And then the last thing that we got a 60-second wall sit. So for the kettlebell swings, pick the weight up, make sure you're working that breath, connect from the hips, and you should be paying attention to your balance. Don't bend the knees too much. You want to make it tight and responsive. Rep-wise, we're going to go 40 on the first round, and then we're going to drop the reps down by 5 each time. So by the time you get down to the last round, you're only going to be doing 5. After that, grab that med ball, going from the knees here. You have alternating hammer slams. This is always going to be 12 reps. From the knees, use the body to accelerate the ball you don't have the leg power, so don't just use your shoulders. Get that ball up, swing from your hips. You got to create a lot of power between the hip and the shoulder on this one. Swing it around, slam it down, okay? From there, combo move. For this one, you're gonna pop up from the knees, and then you're gonna jump lunge into the right side forward, and then the next one will be left side. It's a little bit complex, but try to pay attention to which leg initiates the move. So for the first one here, I'm gonna pop up, jump, back to standing. Now my right foot went forward, so now I want to start off right foot when I come back down. Next one's gonna be left side. Back to standing, left side down. That was 2. I'm gonna go for 6. Once I finish that, go to the wall, just get a nice angle for a 60-second wall sit. Just hang out for a minute. Should feel nice and strong through the quads. Keep the shoulders pressed against the wall. And you want 90-degree angles at your hips, knees, and ankles. Have fun with that. Hey, so I almost forgot. This is a kind of a fun version of the broomstick reaction drill that you can do by yourself. You can hold your arms out, and then you should have your elbows slightly bent. So if you hold your hands at shoulder height and then drop your elbows just a little bit, that's going to make it so there's a nice little pocket for the dowel to rest in. And then what you want to remember, you want to bring your elbows straight back this way, and then you can just go off of your own send-off, catch it on your own. Pop it back up, reset. And if you're having a tough time because your reaction's maybe not the fastest, this is a way where you can do the mechanic, make it so that you got a little bit more of an advantage.